And welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this afternoon. There's a bit of breaking news this afternoon. Casper Holm is in the UK. He's in London Biggin Hill Airport, private airport. Looks like he got a private jet into the UK this afternoon. But there is some pictures that have came in from him. So let's check out these first of all.
Shots to bring you of potential Celtic record signing Casper Holm arriving in the UK ahead of his £11 million move to the Scottish Premiership champions. He is with the white backpack and glasses here. You can peer closely. The Denmark international is in London and is due to undergo a medical tomorrow. He is then expected to travel to Scotland to finalise the paperwork on his contract. Celtic have agreed a club record fee £11 million then. With exclusive shots to bring you our 25-year-old. He's also agreed terms on a 4-year deal with Celtic, holding the option to extend by a further year. Now let's bring it to...
There we go. That is it. He is in the UK. He has landed. He's going to be doing his medical down in London, as Celtic always do. Let's get back onto this page. And the breaking news isn't just that tonight, because Celtic, you remember a couple of years ago under Brendan Rodgers, Celtic would put out the Premier Sports Cup in August. Remember that? By Kilmarnock. The cup has been drawn this afternoon for the Premier Sports Cup, and Hibs take on Partick Thistle. Dundee United versus Celtic. I thought it was Dundee. Dundee United versus Celtic. Hearts versus Inverness and Fairmont. Is that the right one? I'm just going to double check this. Two seconds. Oh, come on. It'll be on... Yeah, it is. Celtic are away to Dundee United. Celtic have just put it up on their site just minutes ago as well. It was weird. That was really weird. Celtic will face Dundee United at Tannadice in the last 16 of the Premier Sports Cup. The last time that we were away at this phase, we had a game against, let's forget about that, Dundee United. So I was going up to Tannadice, to those horrific toilets behind the goals. That have been the same since the 1970s. Martin O'Neill lost out to St Mirren in last year's final. Guess who's got St Mirren this year? Can St Mirren do the double over the Glasgow Big Two? Celtic will be hoping to win it this year. Let's face it. It was a shock. It was a shock. Martin O'Neill got us to the final. Martin O'Neill will want to win that final this year. Martin O'Neill will see it as unfinished business, I think. When you look at it, last season's final against St Mirren, when, should we just forget about him? I don't want to say his name. He should be erased as ever being the Celtic manager. He even collected a medal for being Celtic manager. Martin O'Neill signed off the pre-season preparations yesterday with a 2-2 draw versus AC Milan. The Premiership title kicks off a week tomorrow for Celtic. 7:30 p.m. kickoff. The tie against Dundee United will be the weekend of the 15th and 16th of August. Now, that means, will Celtic be at home or away for the Champions League game? Because we're going to be away from home on the 15th, 16th. Hopefully it is the 15th and not the 16th, because Celtic will be in Champions League. Yeah, it'll be the 15th. There's no way it can be the 16th, because Celtic will be in Champions League qualifier on the week of the 19th of August. So the Celtic game, that will more than likely be played up in Dundee on the 15th. Will Celtic get any more players? Well, it has been reported this afternoon. Important progress. Assassin. I'm just going to call him the Assassin. Hassan the Assassin. Hassan, the Assassin Hassan. Just call him that. He has accepted personal proposal from Celtic. It's been suggested, not confirmed, and the contract will be for 4 years. At the moment, the clubs and the staff are aligning the final details regarding of the bonus deals. So the deal's done. They're just saying how much add-ons will be for the club. So I think that is the progress that is not coming out. Or it's a Portuguese journalist that is reporting it, and it is not Scottish mainstream media. So who do we believe? Do we believe the Scottish mainstream media, or do we believe someone that's a bit closer to the player and the country? I'm going to go the Pablo Oliveira era. I'm going to go with Pablo. I reckon Pablo's quite close to the deal, and he'll know more than what's going on. There is an interesting bit of stuff going on. I'm going to jump into the comments first of all and see what you're saying to it. Dundee United and Huns get a home draw as normal. Any news on the German Hassan? Yeah, well, we were just giving you that there now, and hopefully that deal does happen tomorrow. Our strike force is going to be quality. Needs some strength in the middle of the park, says Liam. Yeah, we do. I'm going to be honest. We need a bit of grit in the midfield, because it looks like, once again, it looks like that we're not going to get 10 players in. I will say that. It looks like that Martin O'Neill is going to say, well, if I can get in 3 really good front players. What does it say for Yang? Because Yang's just signed a new long-term deal at Celtic just before the end of the summer. Before the end of the season, last season. So what does it say to Yang, who's going to be a bit part player at the club, isn't he? And as will Jamesy Forrest also. But anyway, when it comes down to it, there is an update from the Celtic Season Ticket Alliance Trust. They put out a thing a couple of hours ago, and I'm going to share the screen, because the reason I want to talk about it is there's a very interesting and serious question being asked of the Season Ticket Alliance Trust. Now, the Season Ticket Alliance Trust put out the following. Got any questions about the Season Ticket Alliance Trust? Well, we've answered some of the ones we were asked most often. If your question isn't answered here, leave in the comments. Join the link. So, this guy puts up a really good question. A genuine question for you. You're collecting names and emails and phone numbers of season ticket numbers, but you aren't registered with the ICO as a data controller. No company's house registration, no trust deed, no articles of association, no trustees formed. What legal entity holds the members' data? That's an interesting one, and I'm not sure how that goes now that the UK is out of Europe. Maybe that's why they're just saying, fuck it, we'll do it anyway. I don't know. Who do members have recourse to if this folds? If it folds, the members haven't lost anything. No governing documents published. No duty of anyone. Where do the shares come from? Desmond isn't selling. Why no partner with existing supporters groups instead of fragmenting the movement? There's about 4 different organisations all vying for the same thing. So, I mean, Brian's kind of going down the road of saying, and then he goes on to say, which I totally get. And let's not forget that Willie Hockey is already in the boardroom, former director with 350,000 plus shares in the director's box every week, beside the people who created this omni shambles. He has asked them to explain. Now, has he asked them to explain what the is going on, or does he just enjoy the biscuits and tea. Well, it will be more than biscuits and tea, Brian. It will be sandwiches. And in the director's box, they probably have a sit-down proper meal. I know they do. They have a meal before the game. And a few bevies. Free drink. So, it's an interesting one. And, I have said about this one. You've got the Celtic Season Ticket Alliance. You've got the Celtic Trust. You've got the Celtic Supporters Limited. I get it. But I just thought I'd point it out tonight. And then that's it. I ain't commenting about it any more. I'm going to jump into the comments because it looks like that we have done the deal, coming out of news out of a Portuguese journalist. Now, the Portuguese journalist in question does have 31,000 followers. Anthony Joseph has updated also, saying Celtic to continue to work on a deal to sign the winger Hassan. It is understood as things stand that there is no agreement reached between the clubs. Celtic are keen to bring the Egyptian to Glasgow after impressive displays at the World Cup. But Pablo is saying that as it stands, the player has accepted the proposal, the player has accepted the deal, and it's all about the fine details regarding the bonuses. So Celtic would have said, we'll give you X amount of million plus whatever. And I think it's the plus whatever that the clubs are working out. That's me reading between the lines. I don't know. I'm not close to it. But this guy has been tweeting about this since early July. He's been talking about it. But there you go. That is the latest update. It looks like that deal may go through tomorrow. But the big news, if you have just joined us, is this. If I can get the volumes right.
£1 million move to the Scottish Premiership champions. He is with the white backpack and glasses here. You can peer closely. The Denmark international is in London and is due to undergo a medical tomorrow. He is then expected to travel to Scotland to finalise the paperwork on his contract. Celtic have agreed a club record fee of £11 million then, plus shots to bring you on. But a 4-year deal with Celtic holding the option to extend by a further year.
There we go. And that is that. As they say, that is it. Casper Holm is in London. And yeah, fantastic. Let's jump in and see what you're saying to it this Sunday afternoon. Supposedly, the club needs to pay for the medals. I don't think Nancy or Brendan Rodgers got one sent to them. Shocking. I want Bodo Mark II and CD and Bruni Mark II in centre midfield. Well, we'll just wait and see what happens with that one. A lot of people saying up the Mayo. Mayo curse has been lifted. Buzzing with the Greg Taylor news from earlier today. Yang deserves to be back up. Yeah, at most. Why not sing Sriracha? Because it looks like not that I want it to happen. Where's Paul Baird? I'm still waiting on Paul Baird jumping on the channel, trying to come through and fucking choke me on the screen. We need Scottish players. And you can understand if Greg Taylor's not entirely happy in the country he's in, and he's got the chance to come back to play for Celtic, get some game time, you can understand Celtic would say, we need a Scottish player for the Champions League. And we go. Give your details at your own risk to Willie Hockey. The new striker has just landed in London for a medical announcement tomorrow or tonight. It'll be he'll have to pass his medical and then he'll fly up to Celtic Park, and then Celtic will want to take the pictures. They want to do the selfie stuff. Hey, Celtic fans, I'm here. Yeah. Whoa, motherfucker, this stadium's big. Yeah, I bet they didn't post that. What deal have you done? We've already spoken about James Smith. Anyway, keep up, as they say. I'm not believing it until I see Nicholson cuddling him. I don't think that Nicholson's cuddling anyone ever again. That creepy cuddle from Nicholson. That was just weird. That was just guy gets out the car. He's never met him before, and Nicholson's cuddling him like he's his long lost brother from another mother. Don't know. Yeah, that was just weird. That was it. That cuddle cemented the manager thinking and believing that he could do anything at the club. But anyway, who cares? Same guy tweeted about Duran and Casper and Bauer coming to Celtic. Both correct with Casper and Duran. Don't say that too many times. Great couple of days now. Time to get Mika done and bring Taylor Holmes as ball. Delighted for Mayo as champions. We've got Scottish players, yeah, but maybe not enough for the Champions League. Got drawn Dundee United to win the league. Yes, we spoke about that earlier. Stephen, thanks for reminding us all. And Rangers got a game at home as normal. Raging Huns protest hangover today. Who cares? What's up with the homie cuddle? Was too far. Yeah, I just think it was weird. Come on, Michael Nicholson doesn't talk to people. Never mind giving him big hugs. Anyway, Taylor and his family are converts to the hoops. He's a Hun, no more. Are people still going on about Taylor being a Hun, but he wants to come back to Celtic? Jesus. The cuddle of death. Yes, it was that, wasn't it? And just a bit of a cuddle of death. Rangers fans are booing the team already. Seriously. And are they even playing today? I wouldn't know. Anyway, the big news is Casper Holm is in the UK. He has been pictured down at London Biggin Hill Airport, private airport just on the outskirts of London. It looks like he flew in with a private jet. That will be paid for by Dermot Desmond. Just saying. If he's flew in with a private jet, he will sit his medical either late this afternoon or tomorrow morning. He will then fly up to Glasgow, and then if you fly to Glasgow, he'll fly into Glasgow, and then he'll get his pictures taken and paraded at Celtic Park by the social media team. Now, it all just depends how quick the social media team can work with that one, because surely if you're Celtic social media, you send somebody down. If you're Celtic, you go, right, you get down to London, right? Take an EasyJet flight tomorrow morning. You get down to London, so when he arrives there, you're taking the pictures and you'll get him. Never mind Sky peeking through fences outside an airport, getting the first pictures of him. It's too much work for Celtic, isn't it? It'd be the obvious thing to do. God, I'd love to get my hand on Celtic social media department. I'd be absolutely buzzing. Forrest, Ralston, Donovan, Murray, McCown, Calmack and Hatton, says Fran 1967. Is that enough? Is that enough for the Champions League? I like either. I will not support either. What? Celtic should have snapped up the best young Scottish players from teams like Hibs, Motherwell, Dundee, etc. Celtic have tried to take players away from other clubs, but other clubs have, I don't know, players don't want to come to Celtic. Younger players see the benefit of staying at the clubs like Hearts, Hibs, don't know, teams like that, because they've got a pathway into the first team. Just saying. Got a pathway into the first team, so you can take it from that. Anyway, that is the news this afternoon. I was going to stay on a bit longer, but seems to be a little bit quiet on. No, it's not too bad, is it? It's not too bad. Just double check something else. And Celtic have also put out this evening. I didn't want to do that. Celtic facing a away tie against Dundee United in the Premier Sports Cup. So have they updated? They'll not have updated the fixture list yet, which is, it has to be played on the 15th. It can't be played on the 16th because that would be too close to the Champions League game. Wouldn't it? And then there was the news yesterday that was a game postponed. Anyway, right, let's get some more comments and see what you're saying to it this afternoon. Read the Hall of Honor. Dyson who? We've got Hassan Ho and Burr. I don't think the Burr one's going to happen. I think that one's the one that's up against it. They have rejected the offer of €4 million for Mika. That has been reported today also. Damn. They've turned down an offer of $4 million. Don't they want $5 million and Celtic keep going on cheap? Celtic are like, no, you're not getting it. Celtic's bid has been rejected for the 22-year-old. There are sporting and financial reasons that we rejected the bids. Ultimately, we decide what is of interest to us, and whatever came in was, from a financial standpoint, of no interest to us whatsoever. We didn't need to think twice about rejecting the bid from Celtic during this transfer window. Interesting. So he looks like one player that Celtic may not get their hands on. So the Mika one will be the one that got away, by the looks of it. Going to jump into the comments. We have Hatton and McArdle who look good. Yeah, but are they Champions League ready type players? Boys finally opening the piggy bank. Well, here's hoping. I thought only 5 national players needed. I thought it was more than that. Baz, Baz, I think they ask too much millions from Celtic, knowing Celtic won't budge and then sell them to other clubs elsewhere. I don't think so. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if he goes ever. Equivalent over 20%, that's the Celtic, get the bigger picture. Yeah, this is very true. We'll wait till he's free next year and then he'll be away somewhere else. Will Oxlade-Chamberlain actually be influential this season? Oxlade-Chamberlain made a pass to one of the younger wingers and it was way in front of him. I think he will be good in the league. He'll be used sparingly in the league, but it's the Champions League that he's really been brought in for. And I don't think that, after watching them with the AC Milan game, I don't think that Celtic... Listen, if Oxlade-Chamberlain was that fantastic a player at his age, and with all the experience that Oxlade-Chamberlain has had over the years, surely Oxlade-Chamberlain would be going to someone better than Celtic. No disrespect to our club, fantastic club, but he's a player that's won absolutely everything. Absolutely everything in the day. Ox has 2 left feet yesterday. The Mika one. It's looking like the deal has collapsed. Yeah, it does look like that. Nicholson will offer quarter of a penny. Ox looks like he hasn't trained all year. He was training in Portugal when Celtic weren't in Portugal? Whatever happened to tapping up players being illegal? How can we agree a contract with Mika and then go to his club to haggle with him? Because you kind of have two negotiations at the same time. You make contact with the agent saying, would the player, through intermediaries, saying, would the player like to come to the club? Would he fancy coming to Celtic? If not, there's no point even putting a bid in. And it's as simple as that. And look what happened with Daizen Maeda. Why did Daizen Maeda go to Ipswich? I think he could have got a far better team. He just jumped at the first one that came in. Oxlade-Chamberlain looks like he's running through treacle. Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to be the one that gets it this year, isn't he? I've just got that funny feeling. Anyway, that's your Celtic news this afternoon. Casper has arrived in London for a medical. Mika, that deal looks as if it could be off because Celtic's $4 million offer for Mika has been booted out. It's been turned down and they're not interested. Agents messed up football when they first got involved in the game. That's when the game went downhill. 55k would make him our highest paid player. Definitely not on 55k a week. Who's on 55k a week? Milky Moo's going on about Mayo. Won the All-Ireland. There we go. Anyway, right, that's me done and dusted for this afternoon. Thank you to everyone who has joined on the 3,000 folk and on the live in 26 minutes. We're getting good at this, aren't we? Anything more on Hassan? I just did that one. It looks like Celtic are still working on the finer print of the deal. He has accepted the offer to come to Celtic. He's agreed personal terms, allegedly, but Celtic are ironing out the plus side of the deal. So they're offering money up front and then the plus side. Bonuses for him winning the league, bonuses for him getting in the Champions League, payments for him winning cups, whatever. And then there's maybe the sell-on clause as well, which has been ironed out as yet. So, stop dissing Ipswich. Why? Go and tell me why, Stephen. In fact, don't, because I'm away. Tell me tomorrow if you can remember. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are all around the world.